All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 740. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who also had a major leak this week, Wombat.
Yeah, it's in the morning, usually like 30 seconds after I wake up.
Oh, did I fuck up the thing again? Hold on.
Oh, man, that was a good joke.
Oh, well, I'll hear it. Most of the people hear it.
Okay.
Hold on. No, don't do that. Oh, man. Oh, what's happening?
Oh. Great start. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Should I stop my recording?
No.
All right.
Test. Okay, that's good. We got that one.
Everybody comes for this.
They got to watch some Trombone Hero before, so they're happy. God. Oh. Yeah, it just goes in my ear when you do that. No one can hear you. So it's just distracting me from trying to get it fixed. I did get it fixed, though.
Okay.
But every time you do that. Anyway.
I don't think I've ever done that before.
Every time it breaks, you just start like singing or just like doing stuff, but no one can hear you because it's broken except me. So then I just have to turn the volume off so I can...
Everyone was able to hear me.
Nobody heard you.
In the chat, they're saying they heard me.
Well, now they hear... Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Things are going great. It's going to be fine for the people who listen to it in the conventional method.
In podcast, exactly. So, how's everybody doing? Wombat, what is your beverage of choice in your household? Speaking of your major leaks, I want to know what your major leak is. Right now, it's Poland spring water. Is that?
That's healthy.
Yeah, that's all I drank.
Hold on, I have to fix this. Let's see.
Okay. It says that your audio is horrible. That's what the chat's saying.
Now I got it.
I saw some clearance water at Target today.
Nice. Clearance water. Nice.
How much does water go for on clearance?
I think it was down to like, I don't know, $2.49 for what was that? Maybe a 12-pack? What does water cost?
Who knows?
I don't know. I think I spent $4 on a 32-pack of the Poland Spring. Also at Target.
Nice. Well,
that doesn't count deposit, though.
What's that? What are you talking about?
Deposit. You have to pay 5 cents a bottle when you buy water.
This must be a New York thing.
Do they not have that in Ohio?
We don't have this nonsense in Ohio. We just pay for products and we get the products. No, there's no deposits made.
Yeah, you have to pay the deposit fee.
Do you get that deposit back?
Yeah, that's the whole system.
Yeah, that's the whole system. Is you're supposed to return the bottles and get your nickel back.
Wait, you take these bottles back to Target?
I don't.
Homeless people do.
Yeah, there's a machine outside the supermarket.
I can't believe that Chip doesn't know about this. He looks
outside of Target.
That's actually the line to return the bottles is outside the supermarket, not outside the Target.
So you're paying Target the 5 cents, and then the supermarket machine is giving you back your 5 cents?
If I actually go to the machine and do it, which I honestly have never done.
The idea is that it's going to get people to not throw out the bottles and then bring them back.
Yeah, we had this in Ohio when I was like 4 years old, when it was glass bottles.
Yeah,
and
we never
put
stopped.
them on the conveyor. There'd be a conveyor belt in the grocery store. You put them on there and you get them back. But, I didn't know that was still a thing. Like we just
when we put out our
pay
recycling
for the stuff
bin,
and then we put the recycling bin out front.
We put the recycling
That's
bin
what most
out
people
front.
do.
But before the guys can come to collect it, some guy in a station wagon comes and takes all my bottles and cans because he's gonna make
Do you clap your hands?
The $1.50 from it. Yeah.
Just clap your hands.
Bottles and cans.
Yep,
yeah, I got it. Yep. That was nice. And Chibi actually has 2 turntables and a microphone.
I have way more than 2 turntables.
I know, but you're where it's at.
You got 5 turntables in it? No, I got like 15 turntables in it. Depends if you count the DJ controller as 2 turntables or 1. Anyway, did you get your super booster shot?
I did.
I don't even know what that's called. It has a special name.
It does have a special name. I did get my super booster and my flu same day.
Yes.
Same day, same time.
I did that. That was a bad idea for me.
My arms really hurt the next day. And then I got tired.
I had a massive panic attack in the store and then fainted. In my chair. And I was just like, what happened was, see, this is why the mind is such a powerful thing. You know, I talk about mind over back pain and stuff and how your mind can make your back hurt. Your mind can just make you fucking faint by making like a story up in your mind in 2 seconds. And then you believe it. And then all of a sudden your tongue is hanging out of your mouth and your eyes are all back in your head and you're in the Walgreens.
What were you panicking about? What was the fear?
So like I was getting the shot done and she did a really good job like on the COVID one. Like I didn't even feel it. And then she's like, okay, let me go do the flu shot in your other arm. And that hurt. Well, I didn't realize that they were going to, I thought I was getting both in the left arm. Okay, so that would sort of fuck me up at first. And I was playing in a ping pong tournament the next day, but whatever. I just started thinking about like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. And then she's like, okay, let me go do your right arm. And she walked over to like the right side. And, you know, there was like a chair there where she could sit down, but I had like my jacket on there. And I was like, oh, let me move this out of the way so you can sit down and you give me the shot. And she's like, no, I'm okay. I'll just stand and do it. And then I'm thinking, oh no, she's going to stand and do it? Like that doesn't sound good. So I got like nervous and I got like tense. I found this afterwards. I found this out afterwards when I talked to her.
You don't want to get tense when you're getting
right. And so like I felt her do it in the arm. I felt that one go in. Like it was like the exact opposite of the COVID one. Like I feel like I felt it go into my fucking bone and shit. So I was like, oh, I felt that one. I was like, and then she's like, all right, like, you know, thanks and all. And I got up and went outside and, you know, I was there with Mrs. Cheapy and she's like, oh, you send your wife in. And I sent her in. I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I feel like really thirsty and like, I didn't have a water with me and there was nobody at the counter to get a water. And like, I had a mask on and then I'm thinking like, just everything happened like very quickly. And then like, oh, I don't feel good. I sat down in the chair. It was just like when I saw Doctor Strange, except I like definitely passed out. Doctor Strange, like I got to the brink of passing out. I just got like the super cold sweat. So this one, so I passed out and like I hear like someone saying like, you okay? You okay? And I hear like Mrs. Chiefy going like, oh my God. And like, I'm just like so wet. It's just so fucking wet. And, you know, I knew that it was like a panic attack and like I was going to be okay. But, but
I've done this several times.
Right.
This has never happened to me.
I got my flu shot today though, and I was
very
a champ.
interesting.
Good point.
I was a champ today.
So the woman's like, oh, she sees like the pharmacist, or I guess the woman who gave me the shot. She sees like how fucking sweaty I am, and like I'm still out of it. Like I'm just like, oh, I'm okay. But she's like, oh, let me get like a paper towel to wipe me off, and she starts like doing it. But it's like a paper towel to wipe me off is nothing. Like it's like somebody poured a gallon of water on me and all over my entire body. So
you were sitting down when you passed out?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank God.
That's
right?
good.
Yeah. I learned that fucking lesson.
That's the key is like, you have to know when you're getting close to passing out and then be like, all right, I either got to sit down or lay down real quick or this is going to happen for me.
Especially when you're 6'4". It's a long fucking way down. And you can take people out with you too. It's not good. So literally, they were trying to get me like paper towels to clean me off. And I was like, Shima, you gotta get me a fucking towel. You gotta buy me a towel at we're at Walgreens. So I was like, just get me a towel.
They don't sell those there.
They do.
They only sell Funko Pops.
Nope. They had a bath towel and I needed it. And I made that bath towel wet. And I recovered. It took me, I had to sit there probably for like a half an hour.
At least you got a new bath towel out of it.
Yeah. Mrs. Chibi was traumatized though. She was like...
So I'm sure. What they're supposed to do, and it's funny because this didn't happen to me either. What they're supposed to have you sit there for 15 minutes after you get the COVID shot. You sat in the chair for 15 minutes?
Well, I sat in the chair for much longer than 15 minutes.
I'm saying they should never have had you go out to bring in your wife. You should have sat.
Oh, it's the chair. The chair is right. There's like a room where you get the shot. And then right outside the room is the waiting area. And there's chairs all there. And that's
where you deposit the bottles.
Because when I went to get my shots, I got the flu in the left arm.
Yeah.
Because as the pharmacist said, there's an L in flu. and that's your left arm. So if you have a reaction in one of the arms, we'll know what shot is in which arm. I'm like, whatever, it makes sense to me.
Oh my God.
When she did the right arm, which was the other one, that actually also really hurt me. I don't know why one arm.
You were tense probably about getting. It was probably the 2 shots. You were tense about it, and you didn't know you were getting in the different arms. That's what fucked me up. I think everything fucked me up.
So I had both my shots, and I just got up and left. Like I didn't wait 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They didn't ask me to wait.
No, they didn't this time.
No, they didn't ask me. My wife though, because she got it done at work. They made her wait the 15 minutes before they would let her leave.
Oh.
So I don't know. They should have had you sit there for the.
No, I did sit there. I literally went. Down. I walked through the door and then sat out to the waiting area and sat down.
Yeah, they didn't make me wait. They were just like, "Have a good day."
And then one of the customers told the pharmacist, "Excuse me, this man is passed out in the chair and looks like he's dead.
We've got a fainter.
That's crazy.
He's lost all color."
No. They were very nice, but I was just in and out.
Who was nice?
They were nice.
Who's they?
Pharmacy.
Oh, okay.
The pharmacists.
Right.
The pharmacists were very nice. They were quick, efficient. Signed my little card, and then I went home, and my arm started to hurt the next day.
Nice.
Yeah. And I was fine by Sunday.
Excellent. Table tennis club.
The card thing is still a thing? Is that
the what?
Still a thing?
Yeah, they sell the cards. They sign it. So I like it because at least I know the date that I got my last shot.
They ask you that sometimes in some places.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do it in New York, Chip.
Okay. Yeah. I've had to show.
We have abortions,
card
and
once,
we carry cards.
Maybe twice.
Mm.
Both table tennis club owners are now back and working, so most of my duties are completely over. But best of all, I got to explain to the guy. Well, first I got to explain to Coach Ahmed what a podcast was. He didn't know what a podcast was. Once I explained to him what a podcast was, I explained to him how much enjoyment his club gave our podcast listeners as they got to hear various stories about that, and how, people wrote in and said it was,
weird
and entertaining, basically. And he got a kick out of that. And he's like, "Oh, you got to send me the video." And I sent it to him, but he got upset because Wombat was so negative. So he had to stop watching. But
I don't remember being negative.
I mean,
I think he's just too sensitive.
You're doing it right now.
No, I'm being argumentative. There's a difference.
Yes, you were pretty negative about it. For the first week,
was negative.
You just couldn't believe. Well, neither of you could believe that I was doing it for no money. You especially couldn't believe that I was doing it for no money, and then refused to talk about it anymore or something like that. But he never got to that point. He was like, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I haven't listened to it.
So I'm not welcome in the ping pong club.
I wouldn't go that far. I think if you have $20, you're welcome. I think everybody's welcome who has $20.
So I'm not welcome in the ping pong club.
Right. After you lost that bet, right? You're in debt.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. I got to explain that to him, and yeah, that's all. It was fun.
I went to an event with a lot of people passed out.
I saw that. Was that where the Pearl Jam concert was, or no?
Yeah. Okay. I went to Bourbon and Beyond. It's a music and drinking festival in Kentucky, in Louisville.
Okay.
As we're entering, I don't know, first day, we probably got there, I don't know, around 4 o'clock or whatever. The doors open at 11 a.m. every day.
People got a pre-drink though, probably. I'm thinking
could be. I mean, this isn't 100,000 people are at this thing, right?
It's crazy.
As we're walking in, just past the gates, there's already a guy just bent over a trash can, just trying to prop himself up.
Told you.
The great thing about it is he's directly outside of the medical tent, but it's the medical people are just standing here at the tent going, "You got to get here. Yeah, you can't come get you."
Right. They didn't think they would need to be at the entrance. That's not where the action's going to be. You would think they're going to be by where the bars are.
Right.
Yikes.
Two people went down during the Pearl Jam set fairly close to us. That one, I don't know that was for.
Was it during a live?
No, because they stopped. They stopped at least one of the songs midway through because they're decent human beings that are "Hey,
man
security,
down.
Is that guy still alive?
Right. But I think they were mainly like, it would be really hard to pass out from drinking in the area that we were at, because we had been standing in the same area for like 9 hours.
Where the good seats are.
We were like 10 rows, like front and center at Pearl Jam. And so we had sat there through like 5 other acts at that point. By sat there, I mean stand there.
Oh God, dude.
So I think it was mainly because they had not been drinking anything. No, you're not allowed to have chairs in that area.
So you stood there for how many hours?
You just said.
I know.
I think it was.
That's what I thought.
5 hours into the start of their set, and then another 2 hours or whatever.
So 7 hours of standing.
Yeah, we saw St. Vincent. She was there doing the St. Vincent stuff. There's a lot of good bands. Greta Van Fleet, they're weird. Are you a big Greta Van Fleet fan? I
know the one song, right? They have a song that I know, I think. I couldn't tell you what it's called.
Probably it has a lot of guitars and a guy singing really high pitched.
Yeah.
But I got Isbell was playing, who played there. So got to hang out with him for a bit and go into the backstage artist area at a festival. So that was entertaining.
Did he introduce you to any other artists, or just they don't?
What am I gonna do with that?
I don't know.
What's he gonna do with that?
Like
what are anyone gonna do with that?
Here's Greta and the Van Fleets, and you would have been like, "Hey guys,
I remember you from when you were up on stage singing music before."
Yes,
I heard you guys on the stage. Yeah.
No, it was a good time. It was an enjoyable festival. I did not realize how big it was going to be. But,
I mean, you have Pearl Jam headlining. It's not going to be small.
It's not a small festival, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crowded House was there. Cheapy, you're a big Crowded House fan.
No, I'm not.
No.
Why not?
I wasn't a Pearl Jam fan either. Everybody in college loved Pearl Jam, and they just bothered me.
I would say there's like a good 10-year gap between, maybe not that far, between Crowded House's biggest hit and Pearl Jam. Actually, I think, what is it, 4 years probably?
Maybe, something like that.
Yeah. Don't Dream It's Over is, I could do this.
I like that
Don't
song.
Dream It's Over is 87. I'm guessing.
And 92 was 10.
And 10 was 91, 92, right? Winter of 91, maybe? Or is it 92?
I don't know. It's firmly 92 is when I remember listening to it. But
I will give you the 92. So yeah,
sure.
So it's really only 5 years.
He came out and sang some stuff with Crowded House as well. So it was a fun time.
Nice. Yeah, it looked cool. But I don't think I could go to a concert like that where you're...
Why not?
It's too
you
much.
You would be the guy that like everybody was trying to look around.
I feel bad about that. I feel... Oh, we saw like a comedian. Do you know Maria Branford?
Bamford?
Yep.
No
her.
R.
Yeah, Bamford.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw...
She's very funny, yes.
The whole family went and saw her.
Really?
And I blocked everybody behind me. Nobody fucking saw anything but the back of my head.
Bet.
She's pretty weird.
Like the Paramount or something?
No, it was at a different theater. But somebody told me that she was funny. I had no experience. I had never seen her before. She was pretty weird.
She had a show on Netflix.
Yes, she mentioned it. She's very weird. I don't think Ty understood what she was talking about most of the time.
She had some serious mental stability issues.
Yeah, you can tell.
Where she had to seek professional help.
Yeah, she talks about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. Anyway, should we just go to Watch This, Jerks? So much?
We can?
Yeah, let's just go right to that. Because I can segue nicely into another concert thing.
Okay, we don't have to do show feedback.
Yeah, I don't think there's much that we can comment on there, really.
All right, never mind.
Let's do, did you see Trainwreck? You must have seen this, Wombat. Trainwreck Woodstock 99?
The answer to your question is no. And the reason why it's no is
because you lived it.
No, I know the story. I actually I watched the first documentary that was on HBO Max about it.
Right.
And I know too much about it already where I don't need to be that depressed.
This one isn't that depressing. The way they frame it.
It's a pretty depressing event.
Yeah, for sure. But this one, I'll just say, like, it's 3 1-hour episodes or a little bit less. It moves quick. And it's, even though obviously it was a whole disaster and
I didn't find it depressing the way it was presented.
People died, and there was a lot of...
Did people die?
Yes.
They don't mention people dying. They mention the sexual assaults and rapes.
It's been a while since
Wait, really? Let's see. Woodstock, because they don't mention that at all. And I was talking to Mrs. Cheapy about it, and it's like, yeah, 3 people. Only 3 people died 2 men died from heat stroke, and 1 woman was hit by a car as she left the festival. Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, they don't, I guess that, when I say it wasn't that dark and depressing, they don't even mention that.
Yeah, that's weird, because the HBO Max documentary, they actually read from the diary of one of the guys who died.
Oh, man.
And he writes about how excited he is for Woodstock 99, literally for months up to the concert, and then he dies there.
Right.
So it's like, I don't need to relive that other documentary that was too depressing.
That's interesting, though. They obviously made a decision to have a different tone on this one compared to the other one, because this was, despite the fact that, it was a disaster, it's pretty upbeat for the most part. I feel
like they sold a lot of albums. I think everybody had that album, right? When it came out, the double
right,
CD album.
That's right.
I know of it. I did not have it.
I didn't really like those bands, but
I think Woodstock 95 was better anyway.
95 or 92? Was there more than one?
Was there a 92? I thought it was 95 and 99.
I think it was 92, but I'm not sure.
92? I'm not good with years today, everybody.
Anyway, it's not depressing. Is it?
Okay. So wait, Woodstock 99, that was the sequel to the sequel?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That was the one that wasn't as good. I don't think the lineup...
Okay, so maybe I didn't have that CD set. I had the first Woodstock.
94? Maybe 94?
Yeah, 94 sounds right. If I think of the album...
Was it 94? I said 95. Okay, I'll take it because it's closer. For some reason, my keyboard doesn't work and I can't look it up.
Ship, the concert you went to had 100,000 people, and Woodstock 99 had 250,000 people, and it was just a sea of people with no barricades between any... It was just one big section of people. And... That's it. No,
and a lot different band culture is right. This was
a lot of angst.
The one that I was at was hey, here's where all the middle-aged white people are at,
and they're drunk off whiskey,
right? And they're drunk and they're not violent. They're just
it was Woodstock 94.
Yeah,
was the first one, and that's the better one. That one actually was pretty good, which is why they wanted to do it again.
They didn't make money though. That one.
It didn't make money, but it was a good concert.
These guys wanted to make money. They didn't want to have working bathrooms. They wanted to make money.
They wanted to make money. They didn't want to have,
security.
a memorable concert that people
it was memorable.
Still talk about. Well, you know what I mean.
Anyway, check it out on Netflix. It's good. Despite the fact, just don't forget about the people that died. They don't even talk about that. We're not even sure about that. We started watching, we started not rewatching, but continuing to watch Sandman on Netflix.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Because, the diner episode, I don't know. I thought it was going to be more disturbing than it actually was.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was just
not as, it wasn't disturbing enough for your taste?
No. I mean, I'm not looking for disturbing, but I was afraid it was going to be etched in my mind forever as something dark and twisted, but it was just sort of predictable and just I don't know, sort of in keeping with the rest of the series, I guess. It's not super amazing or bad. It's just, I don't know. It was fine though. We'll finish that off.
Sounds good.
Also, we're still watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners on Netflix. Oh, we're very Netflix heavy. It's great. We're 5 or 6 episodes in. Very violent, very stylistic. You don't need to watch. You don't need to know anything about the game, which is key. And that's all that we've been watching in this building.
I watched, it's on Hulu, Unstuck in Time. It's a Kurt Vonnegut documentary. Got a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes, Cheapy.
Okay.
He was my neighbor when I lived as a single guy in Manhattan.
In the 50s?
You were not in the documentary.
I know. I used to see him in the supermarket. Him and Ginger from
just turning in the bottles.
Yes, returning bottles.
Yep, I saw him sitting on a stoop. He used to work by the office I worked at. He used to live.
I read a lot of his books because I lived in Ohio.
Nice. Was it interesting? The documentary?
It is very interesting. Yeah, the interesting thing about it is it's done by Robert Weedy, the director from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay.
So he started making the documentary 33 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Or 33 years. It took him 33 years to make the documentary.
Okay.
So over that time, he became like a really good friend of Kurt Vonnegut to where he had to like switch up the entire documentary because he became part of it, right? Like he had to change up what he was going to do with it. And it took him 33 years to put it out, but it's really good.
Was he like a decent guy? Because I always was
Kurt Vonnegut? Yeah, he's a decent guy. Yeah, I mean, he had his divorces and personal troubles, but
sure.
Like as far as his morality and goodwill towards man, yes, decent guy.
Hey, you never know.
Extremely decent guy in that way.
Yeah.
But it was good. Mrs. Shipwreck watched it with me as well, and she has not read any Vonnegut, and she really enjoyed it.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's good. It's on Hulu.
I have Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I watched something else on Hulu, and I don't even remember what it is. I really didn't watch anything new. I really just watched like more She-Hulk, but I liked last week's episode with the lawsuit, the Titania lawsuit.
I'm having trouble getting Mrs. GB to continue with She-Hulk. She's trying to tap out, and I'm
too
like,
close to home.
Like, you can't yet. Don't quit yet. Don't quit on it yet. Come on, it's fun. It's short. You can't even complain about it because it's over before you even know it.
Yeah. And I watched more Rick and Morty. I'm caught up on that.
Nice. Should we do some new releases? There's not much, I don't think, to talk about. I'm thinking.
I think we've both been playing something, Cheapy, right? You've been playing some Trombone Tramp.
Trombone Champ, correct.
I played some of that as well.
Oh, nice. If you watched us on the show, I had 20 minutes of me playing the game before the show started.
And that's a PC only game?
Correct.
Okay.
That'll run on anything, I'm sure. It's not very...
How does it work?
So
what do you do?
It works by you simply move your mouse up and down the screen to correspond with where the notes are on the screen, right? It's the typical music game where tracks are coming across. They're coming across right to left in this one. And so you're moving your mouse up and down, and then you're clicking the mouse button when it's time to play a note.
Pretty easy. It's very funny.
I haven't tried messing with the controls. Can you change it to be inverted or non-inverted? Whatever
I didn't
the standards
check.
are.
I just went with what they give you.
I went with what they had too because I couldn't tell if this was supposed to be like a awkward game to try to play as well.
I think so. It's funnier when you're off key. So
because it's to me, the movements are backwards to me of how I expected to be moving.
Sure.
With the mouse.
You do enough songs though, you get over that.
Yeah, you get it. And it's just the way that like it sounds like the sad Jurassic Park song.
Right. That's what's so charming about it. And anyone who watches or plays it is bound to be smiling like very quickly. I mean, it's not
Does it have the Jurassic Park theme in it?
No.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity.
Maybe it'll come.
It seems like that's going to be tough to get that. They have songs that are in the public domain. That's what they have.
Nice.
But they do,
and they have their own remixes too.
Right. The remixes part of it is pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. Like the music is not just generic. Like there's stuff.
But even the generic, even like the folk classics, it's so funny though. It's just
yeah.
And the humor in the game beyond just like the sour notes is pretty funny as well. Like there's loot packs, and you're collecting cards, but like they don't do anything, and they're all like jokes on them, and a lot of hot dog references and trombone jokes. I don't know. For $15, you can't go wrong. You'll be smiling.
Well, you get a tromboner.
They make that joke for you.
I bet they do.
They call you a tromboner, and yeah, they talk about the famous tromboners. It's good. It's called Trombone Champ. I kept calling it Trombone Hero. It's not that.
I don't think they can legally do that.
Right. Maybe not. Also, that's out. A game that's out this week on Game Pass is Deathloop on Xbox, and I started playing that for the first time.
I did the tutorial.
Yes,
and I think the first section of the first level.
I did more than that, but I don't know. It's just like the other one that they made.
But it's not. You're thinking Dishonored.
Yeah, it's just like that, but
but it's not as good. It lacks the charm of Dishonored and the structure.
I like the charm better in this one than Dishonored.
Interesting.
I like this game, but I didn't finish it because I mean I've had it for PlayStation 5 since it came out.
Yeah. It's certainly like I can see the appeal of it, but just for me, I don't know. It feels a lot like that Dishonored, right?
Dishonored.
But and there's like the shooting just doesn't feel right. And I understand it's not really like a shooting game per se.
Is it? So it's weird. So it's like a roguelike first person shooter stealth game? Is that?
Yeah. Is
kind
it a roguelike?
Yeah, but you're like you're figuring out the puzzles and everything as you go. Right?
Roguelike.
Yeah.
Rogue-ish. Yeah, I don't know that I want to be involved in that necessarily.
You don't have to be. It's the beauty of Game Pass.
Trombone Hero.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like Game Pass. You could just re-download Assassin's Creed Odyssey because that's on there.
Right. Anything else in the new releases?
The new Monkey Island, I think, is on the Switch.
Oh, that's just and PC. It looks like
and PC. Well, yeah.
It's supposed to be good. It's getting good reviews.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
What'd they do with it? Is this a new one or did they just...
I think it's
They redid it. It's new.
Oh, it's... Okay. Completely new.
Yeah.
Yes.
They should have named it something that made it seem like it's a completely new game.
The new Monkey Island?
Something. Return to Monkey Island sounds like it could be
remastered.
One of the old Monkey Island games. Yeah.
Return to Monkey Island, parentheses, not a remaster.
Monkey Island 2000.
So that's it for the new releases.
It is.
Do you want to do a word from our sponsors?
Sure, it's a quick one this week. We only have the one. So I'll say a word from our friends at HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Have a packed schedule this fall? HelloFresh has meals covered with a weekly selection of over 30 recipes and 70+ convenience items, all delivered to your door. Enjoy the freshest fall flavors. HelloFresh recipes include ripe, just-picked produce that travels from the farm to your door in less than a week. There's always something new on the menu, from family-friendly to fit and wholesome, or even veggie-only recipes. There is something to please everyone. You can easily customize your meals with Hello Custom by swapping proteins or sides, upgrading to choice proteins, or even adding a protein to a veggie meal. It's never been easier to eat your way. Also a reminder that Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh. With a wider array of meal plans to choose from, there's something for everybody. We love switching between the brands, and now you guys can enjoy a discount from the CAGcast on both brands. I use HelloFresh. I've been using HelloFresh for years. It's great. I don't know what else I could say about HelloFresh. Ship, do you have anything to add about HelloFresh?
I ate HelloFresh tonight.
What'd you have?
We had the sausage rigatoni. I don't know the full name of these things. I haven't memorized all of the names, but it was quite good. It's a good way to have your kids eat healthy food and not have to create separate meals for them.
I love it. Thank you very much, Mr. Shipwreck. And all you have to do is go to HelloFresh.com/CAGcast65 and use code CAGcast65 for 65% off, plus free shipping. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/CAGcast65 and use code CAGcast65 for 65% off, plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
Awesome.
Did it.
Awesome. Time for GBD's Wombat's Fortnightly News.
It's a big Fortnite week. There's a reason why I haven't watched much. The new season came out on Sunday. The new Fortnite season came out on Sunday. It's called Fortnite Paradise. There is Chrome taking over the island. And it's pretty cool. You see, with the Chrome and the people on the island.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. What else we got in GBD's Wombat's Fortnightly News?
There's a new season of Fortnite. Spider-Gwen.
Nice.
You talked about this last week.
Yep.
You confirmed that she has a gun.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen does have a gun, but she's back. Anyway, let's talk about the big news. Is that we finally saw the final footage of the new Grand Theft Auto. We know exactly what it's going to look like upon release. And boy, are we all disappointed that it looks like hard driving on the Sega Genesis.
I did not participate in any of that fucking nonsense.
All I ever saw of it, because I didn't really want to care to look. I saw some screen grabs because it was in my Twitter feed.
I don't care about any of that. It's just everybody's comments about it. Like, who cares? Like, it's not, who cares about your comments on a game that's going to come out in fucking, 3 years or something? 2 years? It's like, yeah. It's just, I mean, I'm sure a lot of websites got plenty of views out of it, but it's just like, oh my God, who cares? The conversation, who cares?
Their stock went down quite a bit after that leak too, because people are like, "Oh my God!"
But that's just temporary. It's just temporary.
I know.
It's meaningless.
It's like a good time to buy then.
Sure.
This game's going to sell
150 million copies. Exactly.
for the next 15 to 20 years.
Right.
They got to tighten up those graphics on level 3.
Right. Are those guys available? I think they are probably.
Yeah. I mean, they can't believe they get to do it for a living. So.
Right. Right. I can't believe that people who get to do that, you get to talk about that leak for a living, or just like on Twitter. It was just like, oh, I couldn't. The dialogue was killing me.
It was frightening. I mean, because there were like people like, I know video games and graphics are the first thing to get done. I saw that comment.
No, I think that wasn't that a joke? Somebody was.
No, someone was serious.
And then like all the other companies like showing their games, like when they were in development, like, oh my God, it's like you're explaining to people who think the earth is flat that it's round. Like, why even wasting your time? Just ignore it. Like, some people just don't get it and are gonna, it's like what I was talking about with the table tennis. Like, you got everybody's opinion about something they don't know anything about. Like, who cares? Just let them, just don't even listen to them. Anyway, it was funny though. It was funny that like people thought that was going to matter in anything. Like the game's, like Chip said, the game's going to come out. It's going to sell all the copies and forever, all the copies forever. What else we got?
Speaking of leaking things, so there was a YouTuber whose name I don't know off the top of my head.
Dan Allen Gaming.
Yes, Dan. He was revealed to be the Real Insider, which is a leaker account. He apparently was also just like a regular non-leaker account guy, but he had been breaking his own NDAs to breaking NDAs to leak this information. Basically, PR companies were emailing him saying, "You're under NDA, don't spill this video game news until this date." And then he would go into his alt account and be like, I found out from a reliable source.
Did you see how he got busted?
Didn't he like let it slip by accident on his YouTube channel or something?
No, worse. The worst possible way you can get busted. It's the way so many people get busted, Chip. You know?
He replied back with his actual account to something that was
exactly
posted to his alt account.
Exactly. And it's like career ending, I feel.
Yeah, pretty much. If he doesn't get, sued.
I don't know that he's going to get sued. I saw a lot of people talking about that on Twitter.
I mean, he could get sued.
Of course, the potential is there, but like, it's not going to look great for Ubisoft to do it. Like, were there really like damages caused there? Like, I don't know. It's ridiculous though. The whole thing is ridiculous. And I guess he filmed an apology video. I haven't seen it.
Well, you have to.
He's a YouTuber, so
he should have the chair.
He's got a special room ready to go. Mm-hmm. He's got like the fireman's pole, just goes right down, lands right in the chair.
Right down to the apology room in the apology chair.
Pushes the button. He's got like a macro set on his Steam Deck, on his Stream Deck, and just like puts everything up.
Yeah, he has his apology face ready to go.
Yes, a lot of drama. What else we got?
Guys, I'm really sorry.
This is not who I am.
This is not what I do.
It's not who I am.
I didn't mean to hurt anybody.
Right. I was just lonely. I'm just a sad person. Won't you feel? Wait, now this is getting depressing.
Sorry.
What else?
Did you hear they're making a game based on Marvel's most popular character?
Spider-Man?
No, I said most popular character. The numero uno head honcho.
Captain America.
The big cheese note number one. The character
Hawkeye.
When I say Marvel, everyone goes, oh, I know Marvel. They have blank.
Robert Downey Jr.
That is correct. The Iron Man.
Oh, I thought they were making a Robert Downey Jr. game.
They are. They're making the Robert Downey Jr. the game. You have to go from backyard to backyard, and if you get too drunk and pass out in a backyard, the game's over.
Or you win.
Or you win. Until someone calls the cops.
So it's the same studio that's making that made Guardians?
No, this is the Dead Space studio, right? People that made Dead Space.
Oh,
Oh, like no longer that studio, right? Like
with those people,
yeah. Right? Motive Studio.
Do they have flying experience? It sounds like they don't have flying experience.
They have a person in a suit experience, right? Like
I mean, it's not terrible experience,
but that's ground based. Did you hear that they didn't want to make an Iron Man game because they felt like he was too heavy to fly conceptually and people wouldn't buy it?
Don't they have flying experience though? They're the people who made the Star Wars?
Yes.
The flying Star Wars game.
The flying squad. Yeah.
But that's spaceship flying experience. That's different.
You got to meld the two together. You
just don't put the wings on the spaceship and then you have a guy.
Right. It's still a man in a can.
I think they can make this work.
Okay. I could shoot things with Iron Man.
I think there's a lot of potential for an Iron Man game. I think they, if done right, I think you need to have.
Are you worried about the EA aspect of this?
I don't know. I mean, it's not like their track record as of late hasn't been so terrible. They made that Jedi Fallen Order game. That was really good.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah. That single player Star Wars game, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they made Anthem, and that was hot garbage, but wasn't that like 5 years ago at this point? How long ago was that?
That was basically Iron Man.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they just turn that into Iron Man? I feel like they could save a lot of money.
I feel like this is going to be a tough one for them because it's going to get compared to the Spider-Man game.
It will get compared to the Spider-Man games, but this will be multi-platform.
And not as good.
They'll have PlayStation support for it, so it's not like PlayStation's going to be like, don't buy Spider-Man. Don't buy this, buy Spider-Man. So,
there's nobody that's buying the Iron Man game that didn't already buy Spider-Man.
That's what I mean. They're complementary products. So
only one way.
Yeah.
A one-way complimentary. They can have Spider-Man flying by on the cover. He's in the background of the Iron Man cover.
Like this first Spider-Man movie poster, which has Iron Man really small in the back. Yeah. Yes, those Spider-Man video games are very, very good, and it's excellent, maybe the best of a generation. So yes, it is definitely a high bar to cross. There hasn't been another single player Marvel based game based on one character since Spider-Man, right?
That's quite the so.
Well, you know what I mean.
So we're just ignoring Guardians because there were other people that were on the screen that you said go do stuff,
and not enough people bought it.
Even though you played the same character the entire time.
Well, I guess technically you only play as Star-Lord in that one. That's a good game too, though.
It's an excellent game. I know how you disqualified it from this conversation.
Because that game doesn't. That game is really like a walking movie. I'm sorry. It's like
how do we know that this isn't?
Well, they're calling it a single player action game, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out. That's what I'm saying. If they're trying to make a game like Spider-Man, I hope they are. I don't want them to go to the Guardians route, even though I really like Guardians.
Can you make an Iron Man game like Spider-Man, though? You want open world Iron Man just going around and like saving cats out of trees?
I don't know. I don't know if it'll be open world. I think it'll be
not open world.
I don't know. Not open world. Maybe a little of both. Maybe like a hub world that you could kind of maybe save a cat from a tree in, but then once you get to the hit X,
he's too drunk to be doing that. He's not going to be saving cats for trees. He's going to be out partying.
Or maybe it's more like that Star Wars game where you're going from a smaller open world section to a smaller open world section with, like, I don't know, a helicarrier in between. Not a helicarrier, because I've done that. I don't know. I'm not making the game. A crane?
Train. like a really nice train.
Yeah. Tony Stark's like, oh my god, I got to get out of the Middle East. I got to get back to Europe. Oh, I'll just take this train.
My train.
I got to get back to my house in San Francisco. I'll just take the train from Europe to San Francisco.
It turns into a jet also.
Do you think War Machine will be in the game as a playable character?
Maybe he's your
friend. Would it disqualify it?
I don't know. Yes, it would disqualify it. There hasn't really been a marquee, because Avengers kind of was sort of a bust, right? If they had focused that game.
Big time. It was a big time bust. It was a big time bust, not sort of a bust. Like, it was a colossal failure, I think.
That game was a huge bomb.
A money pit.
So who knows? We'll see what EA can do. I think they did a good job with their most recent Star Wars output.
Don't expect Spider-Man, I think is what Chip is saying. Is that what you're saying?
I would be
don't expect the
pleasantly
quality.
Surprised if this game is as good as that last Star Wars Jedi game.
I think that's a bar that's doable.
That's my goal. That's my hope. I want this game to be as good as the last Star Wars. What is it? Is it Jedi Fallen Order?
Yep.
Am I saying it right? I was right? Okay. I'm old. I forget things. If this game is as good as that game, I would be pleasantly surprised.
I feel like moving Iron Man around is a challenge in a video game. Like, to make it fun. Like, you're either guy in a heavy suit just kind of
walking,
plodding along,
which is not fun. Nobody wants that.
Or you're going like 1,000,000 miles an hour, jet boosts everywhere.
No, because he can hover and just like sort of float around the house. He can,
but it's not fluid. Like, I don't know.
He could do it.
He could just flying. Iron Man's either flying or walking.
He doesn't have to lumber while he's walking. I know, as an engineer,
he can moonwalk.
You think the physics is he should lumber, but he doesn't have to.
He could have roller skates.
He does. That's comic book accurate.
Roller skates.
His movement isn't as fluid as Spider-Man.
No,
like Spider-Man, you can go like, oh, it's really fun to just like be Spider-Man and not do like anything, but like you can spend an hour just going like, oh, I'm swinging around. Like, getting that fun into an Iron Man,
you're just flying,
is tough.
Right. Unless he's doing cool flips too. He can do he has got his moves, his stylistic flying
well, that's
way.
just it, is what do they do with the flying? I mean, are they going to make it like Combat Aces, or, is it going to be, or X-Wing versus TIE Fighter style?
They can do it.
Flying and fighting?
I believe.
Dogfights in space?
I believe.
Who's he fighting? Who's he fighting against here?
Well, that's the other question. I think the villains are important too. Throw in a little Crimson Dynamo, maybe.
Jeff Daniels.
Yep. Jeff Daniels.
Oh, who was the guy he fought in the movie?
He fought Sam Rockwell?
No, in the first movie.
Or Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges. Sorry, not Jeff Daniels.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges is Ironmonger, Crimson Dynamo, Titanium Man.
I don't know any of those.
The best.
Yeah, all the ones I never heard of. All right, should we move on?
Sure.
There's some two big Twitch stories this week that just basically came out one after another. First was they announced they're going to ban certain gambling sites. There's some crazy shit going on Twitch with gambling, where like these streamers are getting paid like they have like $1 million a month deals with like these gambling sites to promote the channel, to promote the website, and then then they get more money on top of that through like gambling affiliate programs. So Twitch decided to shut down basically only the unlicensed sites. Like, they didn't get rid of all gambling, only like certain gambling, like unlicensed like slot machine sites.
Okay, so could you still be sponsored by like a sports betting site?
Oh, I mean, Amazon has a huge fucking deal with the NFL and
that's
also
true, and that's all betting now because
So all that's fine. Any sports betting, any poker is fine. Basically even like, I guess, slot machines if the site is like a licensed US site. I don't know if that's such a thing, but they only got rid of certain things. And basically the only reason they did it was because like a whole group of the top streamers said that we're going to boycott Twitch unless they do something about it. And immediately they basically came to. And then right after that announcement, they announced that they're changing the revenue share split for these. Some of the like the preferred partners got a 70-30 revenue share split. And they said that they just can't make money, basically, that Amazon charges them too much for bandwidth, and that they have to now make that, starting next year, back to 50-50. Like what? Even though they are an Amazon company. So
of course.
So it's kind of bullshit. It's probably also part of like this whole, it's part of the accounting, I'm assuming.
Well, they want to make money. They want to make more money. That's the accounting. They want to pay out less money.
The accounting it depends. They could do it the way that they do it with, especially because it's a revenue share. And I wonder how that works against losses. Like, can they claim we lost money so we can't pay you your share? Or we have to cut your share because we're taking losses?
They don't have to do any of that shit. They just have to say, hey, guess what? We're changing the revenue share. And it starts on this date. And if you don't like it,
affect how much they pay in taxes, and it's how movie studios do it. So, like,
I don't think it's a movie studio though. This is not like some tax frame. They just don't want to pay out as much commission, basically.
Because Viacom owns like the billboard companies, and they own some of the TV stations. So the movie studios will buy the advertising on the TV stations and billboards that the studio already owns. But then they claim that they spent the money and that it's losses, and that a movie.
That's nothing to do with this, though. They just don't want to pay. They just want to pay less. If a person gets $100, $100
so
in
I
subs,
bring up the fact that they can't afford to pay people anymore.
No, they're saying that they have costs. They have to explain. They make up something why we're not paying you as much. We're gonna and so they say, Amazon,
which is a lie.
It's a profit deal.
What's that?
It's a profit deal.
It's a profit deal. Of course, they want to make profit. Amazon wants to make profit, and they paid money for Twitch, and this is a good way to do it.
They're going to cut the partnership revenue so they can make more money.
Yes, of course. Yeah. That's very simple.
Yes,
it's not,
I understand
it's not a complicated tax scheme.
But why bring up the whole Amazon is charging us too much bullshit?
Because you got to have something. What are you going to say? Oh, we just want to make more money? That's not going to fly at all.
But it's more reasonable than the kind of bold-face lie of the other thing.
No, I don't know that it's a lie, though.
I'm sure it's true. It's expensive.
It's true. It doesn't have to be the 100% reason why they're doing it,
right? But
it's a reason that factors in. They can say that as much, and that's the only reason they have to provide.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, we told you this factored in,
and honestly, they don't have to provide any reason. But they like to have some PR.
Do you think it'll hurt Twitch? Do you think people will stop watching Twitch? Do you think streamers will leave Twitch and go to YouTube?
I do actually. Sure. I think. I've seen some comments from some big YouTubers. Twitch streamers today. Twitchers. I don't know the proper terminology.
Twitches.
But they seem pretty upset about it, and they see that the reason is bullshit.
We're out of here. Next week, YouTube.
Hey, this is our chance. Maybe they can pony up. Now they have all this money.
If you want to, I was at YouTube if you want to make a deal, or Twitch if you want to keep us.
Right. They don't care.
We're down with that 30-70 split.
Mm-hmm.
No. It was 70-30 in favor of the streamers, the bigger streamers.
Or 50-50.
Or 50-50.
I'm saying we're fine with the 30-70.
Right. Yeah. Well,
we would like an upfront buy though too.
Anyway, so that was some big Twitch news this week.
All right.
And the other thing I put on here was that Logitech G came out with they revealed their cloud handheld gaming device.
What is that for?
That's for just streaming.
I know what it does, but what is it for?
Who is it for, you mean?
That too.
People who have to buy everything. That's who it's
there's
for.
no reason for that. Like I have a phone with the backbone plug and play, controller
right. There's a lot of different scenarios that you already have.
And it doesn't
things that can do this.
And it doesn't play like Steam game. It only plays like cloud-based Xbox games, basically.
No, it plays. Well, not just Xbox.
You can do that shit with NVIDIA, and there's some NVIDIA service.
Google and a bunch of different cloud.
Is it similar to Stadia
your phone
in there?
Do you know your phone?
Stadia.
Yeah. I was going to say, it does everything my phone can do.
No. Your phone does a lot more.
Well, that's true.
And it's a lot smaller.
Everything it does, my phone can do. That's what I meant to say.
It's a big screen with a controller attached to it that can play cloud games.
It's fine. It's a thing.
And it's $350.
It's expensive.
That's kind of expensive for that, but not. when you look at how much it would cost to make something like that and try to make a profit on it, that's probably in the right ballpark for what they need to be charging.
I'm sure
right?
They know.
Like, yeah. I don't know. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Is it a taco phone too? Can I put it up and?
No, there are no phones.
This is going to be on clearance, I predict, in the near future. If they probably don't even order, the stores probably don't even order too many.
So
of these.
what's your buy it now price, Ship?
Nothing. He's not buying this shit.
Yeah,
on this?
Yeah.
$90.
Oh yeah, I think we're looking at like 150 for this.
150. Okay. Don't tell me Ship doesn't have a buy it now price.
No,
on this
I
thing.
think 150. I could
If it has
get
a
out of
screen.
it just because that would save me having to put the backbone on and off of the phone. It could just be sitting there, and
I mean, yeah, it's like I could see it. I don't know, something in the bedroom where I don't have a console. Maybe
I don't know. So,
I'm good in the bedroom.
yeah, me too. I don't need any screens in the bedroom.
There.
I don't have anything in the bedroom either. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a use for it.
Give it to your kids so you can have sex in your bedroom. So it can occupy them. All right.
Yeah, I mean that's the main thing that I see here, like in that 150 price point.
Using it to distract your children so you could have sex?
Yeah. Is like Dashel would play this thing a lot, right? Because
But only at home or places with Wi-Fi.
Correct. That is correct.
He could
He's
take it
very
to
much
grandma's
the kind that will go from I'm playing on TV to I'm playing on my iPad, I'm playing on my Switch. And if he had this thing that had all of his Xbox games that he could play, he'd be picking this thing up and playing it too.
Right.
Like laying in bed, laying in a different room that the TV's not on. I see uses for it, but $350 is pricey for this thing.
Especially if your child is going to be using it.
I think I saw somewhere where it was already on sale for $299.
I saw that too.
Huh. Sounds like it's going well. Sounds like the demand is off the chain on this one. All right. Before we get to the CAG bag, let's do a quick Whip Smarts Spank Banky. We've got Super Bullet Break provided by P-Cube. It's a gacha random loot waifu collector card battler roguelike. Sorry, I did not pre-read this. Think Slay the Spire for comparison. Wombat, you love Slay the Spire.
I did.
So Slay the Spire with beautiful animated 2D anime girls with unlockable swim set cards. Extreme difficulty, addictive gameplay loop, and you unlock a lot of new waifu cards quickly, even if you're not good at the game. He likes it. I remember, and then he sent me some other follow-up email saying that he liked it. So that's Super Bullet Break. It doesn't even sound pervy, so you can, like, your neighbors can see this one. At least your receipt, I guess. It's a digital game.
That reminds me, I've been playing some of another game on Steam, Gloomhaven. Have you played any of that before?
What is that?
Isn't it based on the board?
Based on the board game. Yeah. It's a fantasy-based, basically playing cards, but there's characters on the screen, right? It's got like your hex type board where you're moving your characters around, but it's all based upon your deck of cards and playing them, and you got different powers, and you level up your people, and you retire your people, and then you unlock more people. So they sent over a code for that because a new DLC came out this week, Solo Scenarios Mercenary Challenge. I have not gotten far enough to be able to unlock that because I am really bad at this game, but I'm enjoying it. But it's a lot of like, oh, I don't quite understand what this card's going to do, so I'm going to click it at this point and then find out that that was not the right move.
Right.
Right.
You need help with that game. The board game is supposed to be very complicated, so you would think.
Oh, yeah, and I think this is at least, there's tutorials and everything. I did not do any of the tutorials.
Right.
I went straight into because there's a little bit of tutorial.
You were like, what? I'm familiar with this? Did you hit the I'm familiar with this button?
No, I just went like,
I'm going to click on some wrong cards.
Let's just jump into the campaign. Let's just jump into the campaign and see what it is. And there's enough like teaching there in the campaign of like, oh, here's how you play like your moves and everything. So you're not totally lost, but I didn't read up enough on what all the different things did. Like every card, you play 2 cards per character, or you pick 2 cards per character, And then when it's your turn, the two cards have like a top half and a bottom half, and you only get to pick like one half of each card to play.
It's too complicated.
And some of those cards have movement and some of them do not. So if you choose cards that do not have movement and only have like melee attacks, you basically just wasted your turn if you're not close enough to somebody.
This sounds like a type of game that if you ever stop playing it, you can never go back to it because you'll just forget all the rules and how the game works.
It's cool and it's very well done. Like I'm going to play some more of it. It's just like, you got to be paying attention to what you're doing here. Cause I was playing on easy too.
Is there multiplayer?
I believe so. Probably not in the solo scenarios, Mercenary Challenge DLC, I'm guessing.
Got it.
But yeah, there is multiplayer because it's a cooperative type of board game.
Yeah. I figured that would be important.
Cool.
Gloomhaven. Let's do the CAG bag. Daniel writes in and he says, honestly, what could save Halo with Overwatch 2, new Warzone, and continued Fortnite? I still play some as it is a solid game, but it's the slowest drip of content.
Did you see my Twitter post from, I think it was yesterday about Halo?
What did it say? Remind us.
What was the game? Food Truck Simulator.
Okay.
Had 3 times as many people watching that game on Twitch than Halo did.
Well, Food Truck Simulator.
Food Truck Simulator had 1,500 people.
Yeah. So to answer this guy's question, like you mentioned like Warzone and Fortnite. I mean, I don't know what Overwatch 2 is doing, but those other 2 games always updating with fresh content. I mean, it's just nonstop. I mean, Fortnite is obviously like the best example, but even Warzone, they're always like got some Godzilla shit or some other weird shit where you feel like the game is alive in a way. Like, and if you don't come back to it, you're going to miss something.
That's really the key is if you want people to keep playing your live service game, you have to provide a live service.
They don't. That's the whole like shock of Halo. Like when the first came out and you loaded up the Halo multiplayer, everything looked just like the old game. Like they had a store. Okay. They took that part, but just like a 1-page like store that didn't seem alive because you could see everything in like 10 seconds. And there's nothing to come back to look to. It's just the same like playlist that they had back in the day. While all these other games are just, you feel like you're missing out if you don't log in every once in a while. And so they need that. It's just surprising, forget about the Battle Royale. It's just surprising that they didn't notice all that stuff going around in these popular games and just say, okay, at the very least, we have to have just fresh stuff coming in all the time and make sure people know about it and make the interface like alive even. So yeah, that's not great. Shanafan writes in and says, Ted Lasso is in FIFA 23. Is Shipwreck going to check it out? You saw this ship?
It'll hit EA. Do you have the EA whatever on your Game Pass?
Part
EA
of,
Play?
Yeah.
So it'll be on EA Play. Probably
it'll be on there. Time. I mean, maybe I might check it out because it's the entire team, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. You get a Roy Kent.
Yep.
The Greyhound.
Fun.
It's cool, right?
That's fun. Yeah, I might check that out. I'm sure I'll be completely lost because I have not played a FIFA game.
Just go right in there. It's not that hard, actually. You can just jump right in.
It's the same as the hockey games, right? You just pass to the center, pass to the wing, cross it across, and then hit the button to one-time it.
And don't get offsides.
Yeah.
Offsides is more tricky in this one. But yeah, pretty much that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty clever for them to put that together.
It was smart because it was the first time I looked at something in FIFA in, I don't know, ever, and was like, ooh, I want to see that.
All right, and you can download it.
It feels like a very 2K move.
Mm-hmm.
Like this 2K has a lot more culture in their games than EA. And what?
Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, but it's Jake's culture. Are you trying to say Jake's not?
Yeah, I was saying this is like
Jake's for
a
the
better
people.
version of Jake from State Farm.
Sure.
Having, Jason Sudeikis in there.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, have some fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what needs to happen. Like
having a little bit of fun can go a really long way in some of these games that are
especially
traditionally stuffy.
And it's the same game like every year, right? Like you got to have something stand out to make people want to buy FIFA 23. Well, they don't because worldwide FIFA, I'm sure, is selling.
I'm sure it's going to
very
sell
well
just fine. Yeah.
again.
Oh, it makes so much money.
Right. But in America, Ted Lasso is what we want.
It's crazy that they make these games that come out every year that have so many transactions in them. And I'm not going to say micro because I don't think they're micro transactions. So many transactions in them, and none of them carry over year to year.
Sure.
That's so crazy to me because I think one of the, like, you know, not to beat the Fortnite horse, but at least one of the draws on that is if I had bought something in that game the day it came out 5 years ago, it would still be in the game I'm playing now.
Is Ted Lasso in Fortnite yet?
No, but he should be, right? That would be cool. Ted Lasso with a gun.
I don't think Epic's going to Apple for their characters.
Right.
Oh no, it's not an Apple character. It's technically a Warner Brothers character.
Okay, but
Warner Brothers owns Ted Lasso.
They don't want to promote Apple.
But who? Yeah, but it's on Apple.
Yeah. I don't think Apple technically would have nothing to do with the licensing agreement.
Sure, but Epic's not going to be advertising.
No, an Apple TV
show.
Apple
TV show.
At the Dark Paul writes in and he says, do you think if Game Pass ever increased its price, they would be shooting themselves in the foot? It's a great value right now, but I never want them to make us ask ourselves, is it worth it? They're definitely going to increase the price.
It all depends on what do you mean by increase in price? Do you mean $5 a month or do you mean $1 a month? $1 a month, you may be like, whatever. But if 1 billion people renew at $1 more per month.
There's 1 billion people on Game Pass?
I know not 1 billion people have Game Pass. I'm just making up a number. Yes, it is good. But, you know, but if they get an extra $1 out of everybody who has Game Pass, they would get a lot of money. So
they're definitely increasing the price, Dark Paul. No,
because everything
no question about it. Of course. They'll do it when the timing is right.
Yeah.
Whenever that is for them. But it's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
No question about it. All right. That's it. We made it to the end. And we can say goodnight. And we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Bread's done.